Do you know how low the college graduation rates in the United States are? Pretty low. According to the National Center for Education Statistics, only 41% of first-time, full-time college students earn a bachelor's degree in 4 years. As we journey through our pursuit of learning, what causes us to apply the brakes to our learning? As a coach, I began observing learners of different ages to find patterns of behaviors. I am here to share with you the simple secret of infinite learning. Diving in to understand the holistic definition of learning. What images come to your mind? Academic learning, like school subjects, degrees, and diplomas. Along with that is skill building, like learning to ride a bicycle. Social learning is where you advance and evolve your view of others. You learn about people, cultures, and develop your worldview. Emotional learning goes hand in hand, where you learn to manage your emotions and those of others. You build your self-esteem and your confidence. The central theme of learning revolves around advancing your knowledge and understanding of different aspects of life. What are the obstacles in your pursuit of learning that slow down your journey? Math is my weak point. I have no talent in art. I can't manage my time. I am an introvert. Do you create labels like these for yourself? Those are the popular kids. Those are the geeks, the nerds. Do you create labels like these for others? When we create labels for ourselves and for others, we put a big stop sign to our learning. The second obstacle is fear, like fear of failure. At times, the fear is conscious, where it causes you to stop in your tracks. And at times, it is subconscious, where you just avoid situations that have a potential for failure. Another fear is fear of judgment. Our false pride often stands in the way of our ambitions and tells us, "No, don't try that. It's risky. What would others think?" This is particularly important for high schoolers and college students who are trying to fit in. As adults, we may hesitate to change our careers or follow our passion because we worry about being judged. Another obstacle that may be slightly surprising is blockers, created from past negative learning. This means judgments that we make based on what we know and what we have dealt with in the past. If you tried something and that did not exactly work out, maybe you would hesitate to try something similar. If you had a negative interaction with someone, maybe you would hesitate to trust somebody who is similar. These blockers prevent us from improving our empathy. Let us do a quick overview of the obstacles, the rough weather, the tornadoes and winds that make it difficult to move forward in our learning journey. First, labels that we create for ourselves and others. Second, fears that we have about failure and judgment. And third, blockers based on past experience and information that we believe to be true. What is the simple secret then that can reverse all the impacts of these obstacles and set us towards the path of learning? When my older daughter was 6 years old, we went on a vacation to India and she lost her tooth. She did believe in the tooth fairy, and predictably the next day she got $1. When she got her dollar, she came running to me and said, "Mommy, Mommy, the tooth fairy's wings are so tiny. I think India is too far away for her. She may have come on the same airplane that we did." It was fascinating to me that a young child was able to rationalize how a tooth fairy could travel across countries. Pause for a minute and think of yourself as a young child. Do you remember the labels you created for yourself? Superheroes? Princesses? Dinosaurs? Even unicorns? You believed you could wear a homemade cape and instantly transform to have superpowers. The power of imagination that children have is amazing, and so are the labels. The labels for themselves and others are positive and empowering. Now let's talk about fears. As a child, how did you react when you stumbled and fell? Maybe you said oopsie daisy. Children laugh at failure and try again. What about the fear of judgment? As a child, if you did something that made others laugh, you would respond by saying, "I'm silly." For children, the fear of judgment does not exist. Wouldn't it be wonderful if for a moment the fear of failure ceased to exist for all of us? If we could go back to the time when we didn't even know what pride and ego meant? One day, my 3-year-old son scribbled on his older sister's homework. I yelled, and if this were an animated movie, there would be smoke coming out from my ears. If I had yelled like that to anybody else, there would be an immediate backlash. But my son did not yell back. He did not cry. He stretched his arms and said, "Mommy, hug." My anger melted immediately. I gave him a hug, consoled him, and gave him and his sister some ice cream. What a wonderful lesson in social learning a 3-year-old can teach you. When we are faced with aggression and hostility, we may return that with the same aggression. But a young child knows the meaning of unconditional acceptance. The simple secret to infinite learning is to refresh your mind like a young child. Have the personality, the excitement, the energy when it comes to learning. A child believes in the impossible, and that is what every learner should strive to attain. Part of our journey forward is to go 2 steps back and unlearn the negative perceptions we may have created. When we peel off the layers that we have added to our lives, we can unlearn negative thinking and return to the spontaneity and curiosity we had as a child. In summary, the simple secret to infinite learning is to refresh your mind like a young child. When it comes to labels, a child thinks of superheroes. The power of imagination fuels learning. For fears, a child can laugh at failures and does not care about judgment. For perceptions, a child has unconditional acceptance. When my younger daughter was 7 years old, she drew this picture of a plant with a frame around it. But the plant was growing out of the frame onto the paper. I've hung this picture on my wall, and it inspires me every time I look at it. How nice it would be if we could all grow out of our frames. And we can do that the moment we break free from labels, fears, and blockers. You can do it with childlike simplicity. Refresh your mind with qualities and acceptance you had as a child, where your self-image is no longer confined. The possibilities are endless when you grow out of your frame. So ignite that spark of true passion for learning, and with that, you will have true success. Refresh your minds to a fearless, clean slate, and you will be propelled forward to have a continuous spark of infinite learning.